is I want to share some screenshots of things that I've captured so far that we need to keep in the forefront of our minds just to kind of show the hypocrisy that is Candace Owens. Because of course she wants to forget. Candace, there are a lot of things you said, girl, where you just you owe people explanations. You need to provide evidence. You start telling the truth. So this is a little slideshow. Then we're gonna get to some videos. Two videos that Milk Bar had. I picked up something today watching one of them again, and we gotta play it again because I don't know if you all heard him. If I'm the only one that's picked it up, if I missed it and you guys got it, but he has a compilation video he did. Well, we gotta listen to that again before we get into her show, and then we're gonna watch this weird ass interview that she did with George Farmer because you just can't make that up. George, you weird little sinister man. So here's some screenshots from her videos of just things she said where she has not provided any evidence of proof, or she flat out lied, or she just didn't know what she was talking about. I would call it a misquote, but I just don't want to give Candace that much credit because she could easily Google. Candace, you have a whole team, girl. I know you listen to Heifer. You have a whole team. There's no excuse for you, to misquote anything where you could just research it online. So let's start with this whole. I have 2 degrees. Candace, when are you going to show any evidence of these 2 degrees? Why won't you just post them up on the back wall? Sit them back behind you where the books are back there. Because we know you're not reading those books either. But why don't you just hang them up over the books? Whatever this little gold trophy thing is, what does that look like to you all? Now, what is this back here? Is that a candle holder? It looks like one of those little pieces you see in a Catholic church. Anybody know what that is? That gold thing in the back? And said, "What's going on today? How you doing? What's going on? No reply. Oh, I have an update for us. What's happening? Give me the update, bro." So her is the narrative. So here's the narrative. Got it. Candace is setting it up where it seems like she is going to fire RLF from her video today. While the reality is that RLF fired her. What the heck? RLF? Am I missing something with that? What is going on with her? Seriously. Candace is losing her mind because she's got court. I'm telling you all right now, I'm going to turn this music down because I want you all to understand the severity of this situation. Candace, you're scared of court because you know you're going to lose. As opposed to you being a grown ass woman and a wife and a mother and thinking rationally about this stuff, you doubling down like a petulant child, throwing a tantrum. And now you know they're going to be bringing scientific evidence to court. There's going to be a jury trial. You don't have a judge that's going to be rendering a ruling here and issuing some level of a judgment against you. It's going to come from a jury of your peers. You understand that boosts their opportunity, the petitioner's opportunity, to win favorably in their favor, to have judgment granted in their favor. If they have scientific evidence, Candace, none of your 8-part series will mean diddly. And in order to have an impartial jury, they're probably going to be picked based on who did not watch your dumb show. Because they don't want a jury that's going to be tainted. You should not want that either. Candace, you can either go to court and defend yourself. You got 3 attorneys. Or you can push for some sort of mediation or settlement. Let's say the motion to dismiss gets granted. They're just going to file in Tennessee. You've already said that, you've defamed them in Tennessee. You've admitted to that. And I got the screenshot. She's scared. She knows what's coming. And she doesn't. She's already been down this road like 2 or 3 times in the past where she's lost. But she knows that this loss is really going to hurt her financially. That's all she cares about. Candace, if you care about your money, you will stop doubling down and you would do what you have to do. You got to grow up, girl. Doxing people and all this nonsense, all these distractions you got is irrelevant because none of that crap will fly in court. As a matter of fact, it speaks to your character. Part of civil proceedings is to help develop the character of the defendant. So they're going to ask a question about her background, where she went to school, if she really has 2 degrees. Because, Candace, if a school told me a person with your name has a degree, that's certainly not 2. But yet we still have yet to see it. And why would you be ashamed of that? If you actually have a degree, why would you be ashamed of that? As narcissistic as you are. See, y'all see how this doesn't make sense? And a jury has to process the same information this way. So when they see here, Lady Luck Club put up posts of you saying you got 2 degrees. You finished your last year. So in your senior year, you were able to get 2 degrees, even though your school, University of Rhode Island, did not offer a dual degree program in journalism and in English. So where did you get those degrees from? Or did it just render you 1 degree? See, these are the things you're going to be asked about in court, Candace. That's why I'm showing these clips. She's scared. And she's trying to run and hide from the reality of this lawsuit that is really going to open up the floodgates. You imagine the Macron's winning, right? That's going to make it easier for Turning Point to go tap her, CIA, for that logo thing. Like, people will just be hitting her left and right. It's just a windfall at that point. And she losing her mind. George not helping. He's standing behind the camera, acting like none of this is happening. It's like they're in delusion. Land of delusion. Can't make it up. Oh, man. What's going on, frankly? Hey, look. What's popping? What's going on, Beck? How you doing, honey? Oh, man. So there, yeah, I hope that answered that question. Yeah, Candace is scared of this lawsuit. And honestly, most people would be, especially if you don't know what you're doing and you know you've messed up. Because if you were confident in this, Candace, you wouldn't sit here and stall a hearing on a motion to dismiss. You wouldn't even try to keep that under wraps. You would explain to your audience and, your cult members and the bots why you're sitting here filing a motion to dismiss in the first place. And then turned around and did it again. And the second time came with a motion to strike the first amended complaint. You want this to go away. You're not trying to fight anything. I hope you get to the discovery phase. That means that the motion to dismiss gets denied like hell. And you can't escape it. And I'm telling you all, there's a 90% chance, I could be wrong, where she's going to try to get a mediation going and try to settle out of court and have it undisclosed. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because they're going to see those exhibits. Whether we get to see it or not in the public is a different story. Because once again, court does not work like YouTube. It's a court of law, not a court of public opinion. That's why she's pushing for that. Candace, they don't have to give you anything, girl. They don't have to give you nothing, girl. Oh, man. Let's get some more comments in, y'all. We're going to continue on with this. Oh, thank you so much. Cindy, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Laugh is contagious. You got to laugh. You got to laugh through this stuff out here. If not, you'd be sitting here yelling at the bots all day. Oh, man. I have an update. Okay. I hope that was an update. What is RLF? Remind me of RLF. Oh, man. I have songs stuck in my head. Where's her husband? Child is somewhere not eating a sandwich. I can tell you that. George is somewhere not eating a sandwich. He's hiding. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Yeah, that's why we're going to take a look at the actual interview that she did, or conversation, or whatever it was that she did with George Farmer. Because he sit there, he's so docile with everything. And it's just like, man, you ain't going to say nothing, huh? I guess you just going to let this happen. I mean, I'm questioning as to whether or not he's okay with this downfall. Yeah, maybe he feels like he's a way out or something. George, I told you, all you got to do is wave a white flag. Just wave a white flag. Let us know you need help. Like, this is crazy. If he cared, just like what Sanfei said, Sanfei React, shout out to her. If she loved her children more than Charlie Kirk, and if she loved her husband more than Charlie Kirk, she would stop on her own. Candace, you're 30 something years old. You ain't some young high school kid no more. You better grow up. You're a whole grown woman with 4 kids. And George, he's just kind of like whatever. Almost like he's seeing this as her thing and he's not a part of it. That's the vibes that I get watching the bit of what I was able to watch. It seems like he's more like, okay, I'm just let her do her thing and I'm just gonna stay out of it because they didn't even name him as a defendant in the lawsuit. That's kind of weird to me, considering the fact that George Farmer really is the one with the money, and he's got old money, y'all. Old money passed down from generation to generation to generation. That's what we call old money. And he's still kind of like hands off with it. The only thing that's named aside from herself individually is her Candace Owens LLC and Georgetown Inc. But he's kind of like, he's not even named. So he's kind of just detached from all of this. And I guess he thinks in his mind this won't directly affect him. But I mean, this is someone you married in 18 days. Like, you married her. So you take the good with the bad, right? In sickness and in health, until death do you to part. Shall you bear this burden, George, and end up paying some of this money out of your pocket, probably? Because Candace on her own is not making that type of money. Let's say the Macrons win a $25 million lawsuit. Yeah, no, she ain't gonna have no money, not to her. So she'll have to rely on some of his money to help pay off this judgment because she's not gonna be able to just get away with it. Oh no, they'll take her back to court and have that order. So who knows what he's doing, y'all? George is having a boys' night out. I don't know what it is, but I think it's a Catholic thing. It does look like a Catholic thing. You guys, if anybody knows what that what this candle holder is back here behind these burgundy books, let me know that. It looks like one of those candle holder type things I've seen in the Catholic Church, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I heard Candace is a part of SSPX. You gotta remind me, tell me what that is. Oh, RLF is the lawyers in 920. Okay, gotcha. That's her the lawyer's acronym for the law firm. Oh, gotcha. Oh man. So she said in her video that she fired her attorneys. Woo, child. Candace, go in there if you want to, pro se. You just gonna make all my coverage on that lawsuit just that much more interesting. You understand, Candace? If you do pro se, which I highly doubt, but think you know what all of you want to and go in there talking about I'm representing myself. Yeah, okay. You still expected to know the law and court rules and everything else. You cannot decry, willful ignorance or tactical stupidity. That's not a defense, Candace. I hope you know that. Oh man, let's get to this. What's going on, Caleb? Everybody up in here? I appreciate you all for tuning in. 76 people watching. Y'all hit the like button. Hit that like button. So we're going through these quick images, the snippets that I've been collecting, covering her, because I just want to remind you, Candace, of this is the stuff that you can see in court. Yeah, you lied about these 2 degrees. You're gonna have to prove that, because that speaks to your character, right? Can't be an inveterate liar, because they don't like that. You said here flat out in this snippet, that you defamed them in Tennessee. I still can't believe this. That's one of the reasons why, Candace, I highly doubt you fired your own attorneys because you outed them. No one really knew the address of your attorney's building. I mean, the average person doesn't care about that. Even if you are a lawyer, you don't care about stuff like that. Where is her attorney's work at? Who cares? What is her attorney saying in her defense is what I'm concerned about. So no one paid attention to the address like that. Even if you read the lawsuit and you read her motion to dismiss, no one paid attention to that stuff. But she told on herself here. They were defamed in Tennessee. Y'all see that? Oh, let me take this out. Yeah, y'all full screen here. You can't make this up. I know, right? Is it Stargazer? Yeah, never heard of him. Hey, y'all, the channel Valhalla VFT is his live tonight. He said he is in a serious threat in America, now the top 5 10 perpetrator. Oh man. She's the baby mama. What he gonna say? What's going on, Baraki? How you doing, honey? Um, maybe George would use his wife's shenanigans as proof in court when he divorces her that she's not eligible caring for the children. Exactly, Candace, you starting to look a whole lot unfit right now. Yeah, I'm telling you, character building is essential to a civil matter because the burden here is still, you know, a preponderance of the evidence. So a lot of it stems from how you carry yourself, your, thought process, your character, your integrity, decorum. She goes to court and cuts up if she wants to. Judge Rennie will hold her in contempt, and he's going to continue on with the proceeding. And he will not spare you, Candace. He's not going to show you any preferential treatment. We don't expect him to show the Macrones any preferential treatment either. And you go in there and cut up if you want to. You got to come, girl. You better get yourself together. Shout out to Maria Babes. How you doing, honey? Can I get one of the mods to please drop the YouTube channel link for Berean Babes? Let's get that channel link in here so you guys can go show her some love and support. I am not able to catch your lives during the daytime like I want to, so I watch, when I get done with my show and work for the day. But you guys got to check out Berean Babes. She is hilarious, honey, and she tells it like it is. We love it. Oh, we love it. Let's see here. What's going on, Eminem? How you doing, honey? According to Chat GPT, that gold thing is a vintage European clock. Oh, okay, cool. See, you learn something new every day. That is a vintage European clock. Candace, you're well, maybe it's George's because he's from the UK. I just don't understand her defiance about her. It's like she doesn't like being in America now. But I get you. Okay, Candace, America first and all. So this is nice. I'll say that then. I thought it was like a candle holder for a Catholic church, but if that's a clock, that is a really nice clock. It really is. So here's the post where she's already said basically she defamed them. It's just she's trying to say I did it in Tennessee. That did it, Candace. You did it on the internet, and the internet has no, single jurisdiction of any sort. Okay, that's international. That will span beyond the state of Tennessee because the internet is a international, electronic platform here. So it has a wide reach. So if anything, they should have filed a federal lawsuit against her, and they didn't do that. And that way, it really would be harder for her to sit here and say, "Oh, it's a lack of jurisdiction." Well, the issue is you defamed them over the internet, so you can't really mandate that they come to the state of Tennessee when you did it over the internet. It's not like you defamed them in person and you were all physically located in the state of Tennessee. Interstate is not the same thing as you doing something directly to that individual and you're physically located in the same location. That no man. It's not how that works. Okay, so let's get to the next one. Yeah, of course we remember this. You're going to Dollywood, you say you fear for your life. Who child? And you're out in the open, no security around, no nothing. So I guess you just, we're not gonna all believe everything you say, Candace. I actually got a couple of responses on Twitter X, and if you guys follow me on Twitter X, I follow you right back. So if I missed anybody, let me know. Send me an email. Say, hey, Lady Luck, I'm following you on Twitter X. I will make sure to follow you back because the Luxers are more important to me, and I appreciate all of y'all supporting me. So of course, I will follow you all back. I don't care how many followers I end up having back. If it's 30,000, 50,000, it is what it is. I will follow every single one of you back. But this is what, you know, she's out here doing, and she's supposed to be afraid for her life. Candace, you're not even making moves for a person that is claiming there is an assassination attempt against you and that you are in fear of your safety or your livelihood. And you're out in the open taking photos with perfect strangers. Yet another piece of exhibit that could be used against you in court. because of your wild accusations and theories. You claiming somebody's involved. Now you claiming the Macrons are involved in an assassination plot. You don't think they're going to use this against you, girl? This is the epitome of Candace just not being smart. She's not. So of course you got that. That's the most telling right here. Oh, they're trying to get me. They're trying to take my life. Let me go to Dollywood with no security and take photos with strangers. Got it. Yeah, highlighted. No obvious signs of security. It's just the things you just can't make up. Here's one where she literally said, "I'm starting to think that Israel wants us to hate them." Us who, Candace? Who is us? Anybody tell me who is us? She said, "I'm starting to think Israel wants us to hate them." Really? That's a dark and ominous thing to say too. I don't get it. Let me stop the chat from scrolling for a sec so y'all can see this whole thing. I'm starting to think that Israel wants us to hate them. Candace, that's a very strong word. That's why I laugh when I see the candy asses and the bots coming in talking about, "Oh, you just hating on her." I'm not hating on somebody being sued by a president and is about to get mollywopped in the courtroom. The logic is never there, but they copy and paste the same old comments. And they abuse the word hate. They abuse it to the point where I highly doubt these people even know how to define the word hate. So just based on the dictionary's definition of the term hate, you're talking about something where you have a strong disdain for an entire country, an entire state, and you don't even know 5% of the people that live there. Some of these people are perfect strangers to you, Candace. They may not even agree with everything that's going on in Israel, and yet they live there. And yet you sit here and say that I'm starting to think that Israel wants us to hate them. No, you leave the rest of us out of that. You want to sit around and harbor hate in your heart, Candace, that's on you. But yet again, you're showing your character. This is your true character, Candace. It's disgusting, girl. Let's get to the next one. So we can, everybody can see this. This is what she said. Since the candy asses and the bots want to sit here and go on what she said and everything else, then you have to take the good with the bad. We don't do whataboutisms in the Lady Luck Club. I don't do hypocrisy. You take the good with the bad. That's why I can't even fathom being envious of somebody like her. For what? Because you have to take on the good and the bad. I never want to get to a point where I'm sitting here saying stuff like this. And I have maybe 10% of the platform she has. Because it's not about the money or the number of subs. It's about what lies in your heart. The fact that she has allowed herself to become this disheartened about an entire state here, where 98% of the people I highly doubt she would ever get to know personally. That speaks volumes. And it speaks to your character, Candace. Because that's what we're here to do. Just show your character. And I know the candy asses don't understand the definition of the word hypocrisy. However, it is hypocritical to say, well, when she says that they're trying to assassinate her, I believe it with no evidence. But when she says stuff like this, oh, somehow it's okay to say that. Even if I use profanity, how does that have any, how does that measure up to someone saying they're going to hate the entire nation of Israel and reasons? And then talking about us, these pronouns are something else, Candace. You still refuse to, specify who are they or we. Now you're saying us. That's plural. Who are you involving? This is why we laugh at the candy asses in the box. They're quick to hate something, but yet they get mad when people criticize her. No, free speech. Okay, here's another screenshot where she said, because we're all traitors, we are all treasonous. I hate everyone. Here's this word again, Candace. Hate. Hate. Who's treasonous? Who is treasonous? You understand that it is probably one of the worst allegations you can make against anyone, that they're treasonous. People are put to death over that. Who is we? Once again, we're we. Who's we, Candace? To the candy asses, who's we? Are you all traitors? Because she said America first. So are you all traitors? Would you want someone to actually accuse you of being treasonous? Because if you do, then you shouldn't have a problem with me calling you candy asses or cult members. Because that would be less of an effect. That's my opinion. That would be less of an effect than calling someone treasonous. That's a serious allegation. So obviously, Candace is referring to her and her cult members and her bots that are treasonous. Because we aren't included in it. No, it's her and her people. Because you can't make this up. This is the common sense that Candace lacks. Because she says she has, so many years on earth, and she believes that she has common sense. Candace, you don't have the common sense God gave a Billy Goat girl. That ram in the bush, yeah, that's you. So she hates everyone. We're all treasonous. Leave me out of it. Leave my Lucksters out of it. Leave my moms out of it. Leave the rest of the United States of America out of that nonsense, girl. You and the candy asses and the bots are treasonous, if that's how you want to put it. I wouldn't accuse anyone of being that unless I have some real proof and evidence on it. But whatever. Because this speaks to your character, Candace. This speaks to your character, girl. And here's one. I just found this to be laughable. Even though she hasn't seen an autopsy, she wasn't there at the event. She said, I know for a fact Charlie's neck was not destroyed. Oh, God. Candace, how do you know that for a fact? See, this is where you keep effing up and finding out. Just like you said about Brigitte Macron, being born a man, and that was a fact to you. You know for a fact his neck was not destroyed. Like, what do you mean? The fact that a bullet went through it is bad enough. I don't know how you can make this even worse, Candace. These are the things that she says, that she thinks it just kind of falls on deaf ears, as if this cannot be used against her. It can. It absolutely can. Candace, no one owes you a trial by court of public opinion. They're taking you to court. You can't make this up. No autopsy, no scientific evidence, nothing. No photos, nothing. No evidence to prove that. But she's stating this as a fact. Ugh. I think this story, the fact that there was a hole in it is enough indication to say that it was destroyed. It certainly was not put together. You make a mockery of this when you say it's a fact, Candace, and you have no evidence to support it as a fact. None. It's just gross. Oh, yeah. This is another one she was talking about her degrees. Here's the other one where she was talking about the SUBTT, the yellow plane, and SUBND, the blue plane. Candace, where are the photos or videos of these planes landing anywhere? These Egyptian planes. Why can't you just post up a clip of these planes landing on U.S. soil? Why is that so hard? I'm just trying to get you to understand this whole, you know, the character building is going to be out of this world. She has a knack for sitting here claiming things to be facts with no evidence. Keyword of the month, evidence. Candace, that's the word of the month. Just define it and look it up. You can't make this up. Let's get some comments in right quick. Shout out to you, Diane. How you doing, honey? 7,000 a video. Child, you make me sound cheap. My information is way more valuable than $7,000. I already said, and in case the candy asses want to repeat, why don't y'all just tell each other, remind each other these things so I don't have to keep repeating it? That is not an insult to me for someone to give me $7,000. It's not going to change my content. It's certainly not going to change what I say and do. It doesn't. Only God runs this over here. And then me. And I have fantastic mods to keep things flowing. What do I look like sitting here letting somebody I don't even know that don't have to pay my mortgage or my rent or my bills or anything control my channel? Absolute absurdity. Crazy. Send me the $7,000. I'm just saying. You don't want Benjamin Netanyahu to give it to me? Fine, you give it to me. You can't make this stuff up. Diane said Candace can't compete with the George Farmer social circle. Kanye was her go-to. And yet she married him. This is so crazy. She married him. Whatever he saw in her, yeah, okay. Maybe they're both listening to voices in their head. Who knows? C-Star, what's going on? Dreams are not receipts. Exactly. No reply said Candace really says some bad stuff about Charlie this stream too. She disrespected Charlie and Erica in the worst way today when she shows the text messages about the shirt. What the heck? Okay, we're gonna get to it. She's acting real stupid due to her case. Conspiracy judge. I haven't been mentally okay since the assassination of my friend. Bye, Felicia. Exactly. Candace, you can't go in there talking about, I'm pleading insanity. This is not a criminal matter. Let me remind you, Candace Owens, this is not a criminal matter. This is a civil proceeding. So you have 3 attorneys right now, unless you did fire them, like No Reply said, or they fired you. To which I'm sure you're going to get some more attorneys. But here's the thing with that. Let me tell you all why that's irritating for her to do this at this stage. Because it resets everything. It gives the new attorneys an opportunity to ask for an extension, to become familiar with the case, and to give them some time to go through the lawsuit, the amended complaint, any exhibits that's already on file or that have been exchanged from the Macrones. Now you got to start all that over again with a whole new set of attorneys. So if she does this, if she fired her attorneys, she did that strategically. That's even more proof that she's trying to stall this case. And yet she wants subpoena power. Candace, whatever happened to that? You were yelling and screaming in the video, sue me, sue me. I want subpoena power. Because you don't understand the concept of that either. But if she gets new attorneys, now they have the opportunity to extend this case. More than likely, they'll ask for 30 days to become acclimated, read over the documents and all this other stuff, talk to her, maybe set up something for, some sort of mediation. It just kind of, it will just inevitably stall the case from moving forward. And because it's not a criminal matter, now you're talking about this being prolonged for no damn reason. So if that happened, that probably would set it back another good month, easy. So we'll look for the order of entry. If she does have new attorneys, the attorneys have to file an order of appearance for their client with the court. So it'll be basically an activity notated on the docket, and no different than any other order. It's just, they're filing the proper document to the court to say we are going to be representing her in this case. That's the first thing they're going to do, is ask for an extension. That's standard. Your Honor, we don't know what this is about. Got to read it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Candace said Charlie was dating some girl, but that girl was Erica Kirk. And Candace knows that's because Erica and Charlie got together in September 2017. And Candace was hired in TPUSA November 2017. You can't make this up. Yeah, this is called character assassination above. Yeah, Candace, you can't just say alleged, and then think, the average reasonable person seems to believe you. Well, not reasonable, but that's how the court defines it. The average person knows who you're talking about. Let me say that. The average reasonable person knows exactly who Candace is referring to when she talks about turning point in present tense. There's no way she can say, oh, I'm not including Erica in this. I'm just talking about leading up to the day he was shot. And yet, all her statements are in present tense, not past tense. She never ever goes back and clarify when she talks about Turning Point. You guys, I want to remind you all, I'm only speaking of my thoughts and concerns about Turning Point leading up to the day he was shot, not anything thereafter. She never does that because, Candace, that would be logic and common sense to do. You can't make this up. All right, let's get back to these print screenshots right quick. So yeah, here's her talking about blue and yellow planes and blah 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 that have nothing to do with anything. Then you see her say here that you see an Egyptian military craft because the candy asses wanted me to go back and highlight where she said they were called Egyptian military crafts. So here's a screenshot of where she called those planes the Egyptian planes military craft. This is it. But yet, we have not seen photos of these planes or videos of them landing or anything. No information on it. Just a bunch of plots on a map that still does not connect to the actual planes she's referring to. So, and then of course her saying it is now my well-informed, I guess, opinion, whatever. I don't understand this. This is stuff that comes out of her mouth. We can't do anything about people wanting to have selective hearing, but this is stuff she says. And forgetting is perception is 9/10 of the law. Perception is 9/10 of the law. No, that is false. It's possession. The saying goes, possession is 9/10 of the law. I debunked that in the early video, but I just want you all to see a pattern here. You all see the pattern emerging. She says many, many things that are false or incorrect or inaccurate or that are just heinous. It just shows some dark, sinister side to herself. People are treasonous. She hates Israel. I hate everyone. I mean, she literally said that. And if she doesn't directly clarify it, the only thing we can do is take the words that she's saying and based on what those words mean, go with that as what she means. She's not the type of person where she says what she means and she means what she says, because if she did, she would tell the truth. And then goes back and says, I'm not going to apologize for any of this. Oh, okay, cool. So you have no remorse either. Got it. So, yeah, no, it's possession. 9/10 of the law. That can be Googled. She didn't even do that. Now, here it is. Didn't go through an official channel and send an email. And I should do that. She was talking about to the FBI complaint. She sent a text message. She's admitting she didn't go through an official channel and send an email. You could go through the website and send a complaint. And if you file an FBI complaint, they have to review it. They review your complaint, any exhibits you attach. They'll do a preliminary, call, ask them some basic questions, and then they have to determine whether or not your complaint is approved to be investigated, because it takes time, money, resources, manpower, all those things to do an investigation. They're not going to waste time if they don't feel like the claim is valid or you don't have enough evidence that deems it worthy to move to the next phase. But the fact that she didn't even file a complaint formally and sent a text message, it is absolutely hilarious and pathetic at the same time that she wants them to respond to something they don't even have record of. Sending a text is not the proper way to file a complaint to the FBI. If it were true, wouldn't she want to do it the right way and attach her evidence? You get to attach up to 25 documents at once in one complaint. So if it were true, Candace, why didn't you file a complaint and attach your evidence and go through the FBI website. They give you confirmation that your complaint has been received. You could have posted that up as proof that you filed the complaint. Now, go ask her if she's actually going to do it the right way. She'll be ignoring everyone in the chat. That'll be the one time she's gonna be like, I don't see any comments for the day, so I'm just gonna go ahead and check out. Thank you all for tuning in. No. Why didn't you file a formal complaint to the FBI? You can't make this up. So these are the things like I said, I'm not trying to sway the candy asses and the bots because I'm not here to change their mind on anything. People are going to be brainwashed. They're going to defend her at all costs, like she pays their bills when she does it, but whatever. But I want to just put this information out there because I'm sure the Macron's attorney will appreciate the hell out of it. Plus, so you all can see, this character development here. What she says and does when she's lying or making false or incorrect statements is a habit. It's a pattern of behavior. She does this like it's breathing air. It's so easy for her. You can't make this up. So this is what she has to look forward to in court. This stuff is going to come back up, but it's going to be you're accusing the Macrons of trying to assassinate you. So of course they're going to ask questions related to that. They're going to ask you if you filed the formal FBI complaint. Did you attach evidence? And why didn't you do that? If you didn't even want to do it the right way, then why send a text? Because that does nothing. It's almost like if you get to do it, Candace, then everyone else is going to do it that way. Everyone else should be expecting to get that type of treatment, I guess, by being able to just send a text to an FBI agent that's high ranking, as opposed to doing it the right way and filing the complaint online and submitting your evidence. And then let them determine if it's viable and if it's enough merit and information that would have them approve an investigation. And if you don't believe me, go on the FBI website and look up their investigatory process. They have to approve off on it. She didn't even file it. Here she's talking about an email. No, ma'am. Just file it through the website. Yeah, okay. Here's her here talking about how the Macrons should be taking her to the the court of public opinion, but not the court of law. Candace, they don't owe you that. They don't owe you that, girl. And if you keep on, it's going to come off like you're intimidating them. Most people don't like getting sued, Candace. And you're not the only one on earth being sued. You might be one of the few being sued by the French president, but you are not the only person on earth being sued, especially for defamation with malice intent, because they got to meet that as well. Now, you want to drag them to the court of public opinion for what? They don't owe you that. Just like they didn't owe you an interview. You keep going on with this grandiose mentality. This is what happens. She's going to end up finding out the hard way when she goes to court. And if the judge has to remind her that this is not all about you, and you can walk around here like you've got, the world on the silver platter, you're going to get a harsh reality check. They don't have to go to the court of public opinion. This is not a game, Candace. This is not a joke. This is their life. And you called Brigitte Macron a man and stated that it was a fact. You stated this as a fact that she was born a man. And then turned around and said she'll die a man. I don't understand it. Why are you forcing transgender on someone? But no evidence to prove it. No scientific evidence. None. Judge won't care about your 8-part series. Here's her saying, did I report to the FBI? Of course I reported to the FBI. When we all know she didn't file a formal complaint, because that's exactly what she said. Yeah. Oh, here we go. So she contradicts herself in one video in the same statement. Like back-to-back statement. So okay, you reported it, but you didn't file an actual official complaint. Got it. Girl, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. So of course this is a lie. Sending a text message is not reporting it. That's not how that works, Candace. Oh, of course, she says you reported it to her counterterrorism unit. I'm assuming CIA, maybe DHS. Which agency, counterterrorism unit, did you report this to, Candace? Why didn't she name that specifically? I'm curious here. What would be her reason for not saying specifically the actual agency's counterterrorism unit? Are we talking about the CIA? I mean, you got many agencies that have a counterterrorism unit. The FBI has one too. What are we doing? Exactly. It's also in the FBI. Thank you. CIA, you have a few agencies with counterterrorism units. So be specific, just like she keeps blaming the US military, but never says which branch of military. Are we talking about the Marines, Army, Navy? Which one? She never specifies that, just like the Club de Sant. Never specified which of the two. She leaves things very general and very vague and does not provide any further detail because it will raise more questions and it will almost require her to produce some level of evidence. She keeps it general and vague and then says, "Oh, I don't want to out my sources." That once again, she's bad at this and she doesn't know what she's doing. You don't have to out your sources, but what you should be able to do is to show some level of evidence and maybe something to corroborate it. She does neither. I understand all too well keeping sources confidential, but the information that I share should be corroborated by something that the public can also research and look up too. This is how you can keep from being duped